morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, it's the Rant, number 33, the DAWS of Perception. Was an unreleased demo from, I don't know, 2001, never to be released, never to see the light of day. Thank God for that. What a load of rubbish. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is the Rant. That was a Dread Circus track from, 2001. I think 2001. Called, what is it called? I don't know. I don't even know what it was called. It's that horrible a song. It's called... No idea. There we go. So we're talking about full doors today. Welcome. It is a door rant, and not the doors that you walk through, not the doors, the band. It is the door as in digital audio workstation, the DAWS of Perception. That is what we're talking about today. That is what I'm going to rant about today because I feel the need to rant. Let's say hello to everybody here. As Leela and Thomas battle for supremacy in tagging links. Look at them go. They're off on fire. Let's go. Look at them go. You can become a war warrior. There's a link there. There's a little thing there. War warrior for $1. Hey, let me tell you about the war warrior as I put this back up here. Next week, there is no rant. No rant, but something even better. Something even better. So we will be starting an hour earlier next week, this time. Right, next week, it is the official Wart Warrior quiz is happening. And I think it's quiz number 5? Is that what it is? And this quiz is all about the YouTube community's music. So you could be a question on this upcoming show. It is for members only. So you need to be a Wart Warrior and spend $1. And there's plenty of seats. There's up to 50 people can join. There's normally a prize we give away at the end, an old condom or like, I don't know, a tissue. But it's always something that we give away. So next week, no rant, but there will be a 2-hour quiz. So you sharpen up your skills, go around the community, check out all the people in the community, check out their music and get to know these artists because there's going to be lots of questions about them. Thank you, Thomas, for posting that bizzo there. And hello, Dark Leela. Who else do we have? Joe and Barry Glenn. I was just about to message you, but I got held up. Thank you. Love you both. Legs. What's going on, Legs? Cy Effins here. Pookie's in the house. Mwah! See how quick that kiss is? Les Fuller's here. What's going on? And Greg O'Sullivan is here, my Oge partner in crime. That's what you are now. Forever, Greg. Audible, what's happening? Mateus, what's going on? Forest of the Wolf, boom, boom. Right on, good deal. Gary Hubs, we're kicking down another door. Come on in, Gary Hubs. Our featured artist today is Liz Aday, and she is my special guest artist that I'm interviewing this week. I think I saw Chad Freeman in the chat as well. Hello to you. I'm trying to remember people I may have saw while I was making coffee. We'll get into it in just a moment. An old condom, a dirty tissue. Yeah, look, nothing but the best here on how to app on iOS. You know, we look. What a joke. Jenny Jolivet, Wolfstone Studio, Michael Lanthea. Yeah, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Great show you did the other day. I wasn't in chat. I'm lurking always. Always watching. So what am I talking about today? We're talking about doors. Doors. Not the doors that you walk through, not the doors that were from the 70s and 60s singing psychedelic nightmares, but digital audio workstations. Why do I want to talk about it? Because they've changed over time. And I want to talk about the importance of which one you use, because it's very important. You need to use the one that I tell you to use, not... I can't even do that. Why? Because I said so, so it's better than everyone else. If you don't use my one, your music's going to be crap. Right, got it. Show's over. See you later. Goodbye. No, what's going on? Hang on, we're still here. We're still connected to the internet. What's happening? I've got the wrong glasses on. No wonder I can't see anything. Oh, wow, the whole world just opened up. Hey, Ron, what's happening? See you there in chat. So, DAWS, digital audio workstations. Now, the reason I wanted to play that track and talk about this stuff is, what was your first DAW? What was the first? And it doesn't have to be a software DAW. Mine was this. That was mine. The Tascam Porter Studio 414 Vintage 4-track multi. It wasn't a vintage when I bought it. Look how much that is. $739. When I bought mine, it was like $250 when I was like 19 years old. I was like, what's made this thing so special that it has to go up to $739? It's a little bit ridiculous if you ask me. Andrea, hello. Lady Campion, what's going on? I missed something. What contest are we winning? You win all the prizes. Next week, Lady Campion, there is no rant. There is a quiz happening for members only. And it's about musicians from the community. Me and Russ are working on 50 questions that'll tantalize and tangle your brains in an absolute mess of deception. Rhodey's Jam Cave, hello. So that's what's happening. Hey, Elliot Garage. Hey, I'm taking a look at EG Nodes this week again. I don't know if you saw that. Covering the updates. I'm catching up. I'm a little bit behind, all right? So this was the first pretty much DAW that I used. And I've got some demos of stuff that I made with this too. It's rad. This thing was amazing. You listen to the quality now, and guess what? It sounds like making a song through a toilet paper roll, singing through a cat's bum hole. It's going through its intestines and coming out its mouth at the other end. That's what it sounds like. Terrible, utterly terrible. That is the quality that you used to get from this. But back when this was a thing, it was like, oh my goodness, the sound is amazing. It's truly amazing. You know, I can give you a sample of one of the first tracks that I recorded using that exact thing. Let's see, what do I have? Sure, I won't play the whole song. I'll play Smokestack. This song's about smoking, obviously. Here we go. This was on my... Utterly terrible. Not very good quality, eh? But, you know, to me at the time, it sounded amazing. But the thing was, and there's so many tracks in that, but what you had to do back in those days with something like that, with the old Tascam, is you'd have to record a track in here, and then you'd record a track in this track over here. Where's my mouse? There. In this track, and then you have to bounce them all onto this track, so you still had 3 tracks. And then you'd do 2 more tracks, and then you bounce them onto here, and then you take these 2 tracks, and you'd bounce them onto here, and by the time you bounced everything over so you could get like about 9 tracks out of it, it sounded like utter crap because it was on a cassette tape, and it just, the more you copy over and keep going and going and going, it sounds rancid. But I thought that I was producing Bob Rock material at the time because it was amazing. And to be able to do it at home and not be in a studio and spend lots of money, which I'd done previously, was amazing. Cy Effin says, a Notator on the Atari, for me, had a Tascam 4-track, which I used in conjunction with it. Yes, indeed. But as you know, like, hey, what's going on, Mars? There's Mars there. So things have changed in the world of DAWS over time. And I have a little history thing here on DAWS as well, because things have changed. I'm going to talk about tribalism as well with DAWS, because that's the thing that I really want to rant on, because it irritates me. It really does irritate me. Let's see. Do we have this? That's a bit biased. We don't want to go with biased stuff. I love this. Here we go. So here's a little chart. I've mapped out a chart for you all. 1975, digital tape recording. Digital tape recording begins to take hold in professional audio studios. So yes, is there anyone here who's actually old enough or ancient enough like me that went into a recording studio and was recorded to tape? Yeah? I've done that many times. I've still got reels in a box from some of my previous bands. Now, that was a painstaking way to go, and it makes you really, really appreciate what we have now, you know, to know that you can just do 100 takes over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you get it right. So that was 1975. 1981, the CD demo. What's this? Philips demonstrates the compact disc. So the compact disc was a thing back in 1981. Then we had the introduction of MIDI, which brought in Cubasis in 1984, or Pro 16 as it was called there. So it was for the Commodore 64 and Apple II, created by Steinberg. And then that moved everything over to the Cubasis MIDI sequencer up here for the Atari ST. And that's where MIDI really started to take hold, and people were, you know, typing in their little MIDI bits and pieces. And now we take MIDI for granted, you know, that it's just, it can, within minutes, have a drum beat and it's all rocking and rolling. Sounds amazing. But yeah, 1989. So not so long ago, really, when you think about it. Then, and thinking at the same time, the World Wide Web came into existence around this time as well. So when you look at it like this, very interesting. Now, Sound Tools was in 1987. I'm going backwards here. So the Atari ST was down here. Sorry, what I'm saying. So before that was obviously Sound Tools, which was Pro Tools, which interestingly enough, I used Pro Tools on my my PC for a long time because it was a PC thing. As well as Logic. Logic was a PC thing as well too. I think I still have Logic on my Windows computer. Logic 5.5 was the last one. So Sound Tools became Pro Tools. The World Wide Web, Cubasis became, so I'm saying Cubasis, the iOS version, Cubase Audio, Pro Tools, which is what most they say most large studios use it. That's probably an outdated notion because I know the last two big studios I was in were using Logic. So there's that. I've even, Cubase. And now these days we have every kind of imagined DAW you can think of because there's so many ways to make music. It's just utterly ridiculous, especially here on iOS. And look, we've got Elliot Garage in here at the moment who's got a DAW happening here on iOS that I am using frequently that's totally not like any other DAW. You know, people look at DAWs and go, well, that's the standard DAW. Like, you know, you look at the tracks, they go across. It all makes sense in your brain like this. If I bring up something like Logic right now, if it eventually loads, there we go. So there you go. There's a Logic on iPad DAW. That's your pretty standard looking DAW with your multiple colors, your instruments, everything looks all mapped out. You've got your Bizzo over here. That's, you know, it looks like a standard DAW. But today we have many different DAWs on iOS that are utterly unique and don't follow this pattern at all. Like if I open up now, our friend Elliot Garage's app here. Give me a second. EG Nodes. It's up here, ready to go. So we have things that look like this. This is all like nodes. And look at it. To most people, they'd probably be like befuddled. But you can still see the template of a DAW in here by clicking on and seeing your piano roll, standard thing since MIDI was invented. So piano rolls in here. It's just a different take. You know, you hit play, and guess what? Maybe if I made sure my thing was working, that would help. Get your shit together, Jade. Do the right thing. Okay, maybe not. What did I do then? Come back. Oh, it's because I've got Logic open. We'll reload. I love going live, technology and all that jazz. We'll load it up. Come on, we got the sound. We got my DAW. There you go. Still sounds like the same music. It just looks a little bit different. In fact, you know, for those of you who follow me here on this channel, this is one of the apps that's come out like lately that I feel makes making music even easier than using a standard DAW, because I can whip something up super quick and not have to use my brain too much, because I hate using my brain. I'm always scared if I overuse my brain, I'm going to have an aneurysm. So there's that. I mean, you've got other apps that are out there for making music, like, I know, this one on iOS. Let's see if this one works. Do I have a project loaded? I do. Called Gadget. I mean, look at this weird one. It kind of sort of looks like a DAW, but it's not. It's a DAW, but it's strange. The way it works, it runs across and then drops down to the next section and down to the next section. And so again, another interesting take on a DAW. We are so blessed these days to have so many different ways to lay down our ideas and tracks. I mean, you know, I remember the first time I opened Gadget, I was looking at it going, what? It's not true, Audible. Okay. So, there's Gadget. And I did a whole show on learning how to use Gadget, and it was really confusing, but once I got it, it all made sense. Like, just go down and to the side. It makes sense. It all works. But the music still sounds the same. Like, there's no difference. Like, nothing's, you know, better or anything like that. It's still a DAW. And then you've got all those, then you've got GarageBand, right? So GarageBand was a massive game changer on Mac when it came out. Why was it a game changer? Because it opened up the opportunity for people who may not play musical instruments to be able to play instruments. Like, you know, how innovative. I remember when GarageBand first came out on iPad. That was the day I ditched my PC, because I have not been using PC to make music since 2010. That's when I ditched PC. There was something about it. I got my first iPhone and I got my first iPad. I got GarageBand on iPhone. It was really small and hard to use. But then when I got it on the iPad, it was like, what? This is so easy. I mean, look at this stuff. If you go in here. It's been so long since I've used GarageBand. How do you use GarageBand? I've forgotten. Let's just make a track in here. So you can, when I first saw stuff like this, the acoustic guitar stuff, right? And was able to play with my fingers like this. I was like, what's going on? Play chords and bend the notes. It was like, hang on a minute, things are getting a bit hectic here. A bit hectic, mate. Hectic. And strumming. And auto strumming. What? It just opened up so many doors, you know. Speaking of doors, eh? Let's close this. How do I close it? Oh, it's that button there. Yeah. And, you know, even things like orchestral stuff was mind-blowing. Where's that one? It's this one, isn't it? It's been a long time. Chords. Just crazy stuff. I remember, so when I first got this, it was just like, it really opened the doors. I mean, remember, GarageBand came out on Mac first, and it was nothing like this. You couldn't like touch the screen and do all this kind of stuff, but it still was a lot easier, and it opened the doors for people to make better music, and people who, yeah, like I said, didn't have the skills to be able to make music. And now with all these virtual instruments here on the iPad, it just opened it up for so many more people. And I know you're going to hear it, people bitching about stuff. Oh, man. You know, before I don't want to, we'll get to the halfway point first. But even look at this. On my computer here, let's show you. I still have running on my my streaming laptop. Does anyone remember this? This is Cool Edit Pro. Look at this thing. Look how ancient this thing is. You know, it still works amazing. Whenever I'm in a quick pinch and I just need to edit a WAV file, this thing works rad. It works perfectly. I can just load up any kind of file in here, right? So you can see there's a bunch of files in here. There's my voice, so songs and stuff. What's this, baby crying? Hit play. See if I can move this. Probably not. Oh, do I have the PC up? I've got to make sure the sound's routed. I don't know where that's coming out. For some reason, that's coming out of my computer. But it's because of the routing of this thing. But this thing still actually works. It's freaking amazing. And I mean, it looks so ancient. Right? But look, it's still a multi-track. And the beautiful thing about this was you can have 99 tracks in here. Yeah? 19, look at all this. So we can move our slider all the way down. 99 or 120 tracks. 128 actually, by the time this come out. No MIDI or anything like that. But even in the effects, if you go up here, where we got, I guess I got to load a WAV file. I've got to load something out. Let's go back over here where I've got something loaded in. Generate, so you could generate noise and stuff like that. You've got effects, amplitude, delay effects, so chorus, filters, noise reduction, time, pitch, and this stuff always, it still works. It's amazing. And I tell you what, one of these things in here, I think it was the scientific filter. This thing was pretty rad. Look at this. So all your notch filters, pretty cool. So, DAWs have evolved over time, obviously. And I think I've got Cubase on here as well and, all this kind of stuff. And over time, let me get back over here, things have just got better and better and better. And the thing is about all these old DAWs, and so a lot of the big players still exist. So Logic disappeared from PC. Apple bought them, took over. They Apple-fied everything. You've got Pro Tools still existing. You've got Cubase still existing, the major players. You've got, who's the one who's just died? Creative Source covers. I can't think of what that one's called, but that's gone. That's about to end, or it's going subscription. So some of them are going subscription. Then you've got Audio One. I think that thing's still going. On here, we've got Nano Studio on iOS, BAM. I mean, there's so many different things you can use on iOS. Can't forget, of course, the one I've just forgotten, Reaper. Reaper's super popular, and it's absolutely free. Cakewalk. Yeah, Cakewalk's the one that's dead. Well, it's not dead. They're moving it to a subscription, and eventually the roadmap's they've been saying this for months. It still hasn't happened yet, but I think they're in a bit of tatters at the moment. But Cakewalk's going to go subscription. FL Studio, yeah, Fruity Loops. So, I mean, there's so many ways to make music. It's just ridiculous. And so you've kind of got no excuse, because and on every platform. So on Mac, on iOS, on PC, even on Android, Bitwing, yeah. Bitwing's a thing as well still. I think we covered most of those in that little thing here. What have we got? So FL Studio, Ableton Live, Pro Tools, Reaper, Logic Pro, Cubase, Studio One, Bitwing, Logic. So they're all your big players, right, there. But then we have all these incredible, really interesting ones, like, Gadget and what we're mentioning here, and EG Nodes. But Reaper's a big one too. And one of the pluses, this is the thing. Reaper's free if you just keep ignoring the nag screen. It's a thing that there's people who've been ignoring the nag screen on Reaper. Every time you open it, saying pay the money. It's what is it, $60? It's ridiculously cheap. But you can if you want to do so. Like you're not going to go to jail for it. You know what I'm saying? Even though if you're getting some use out of it, you should throw some money at it. But you can get away with, on iOS, on all these platforms, finding something to make music for free, right? That's the thing. You don't really need to spend any money these days to actually have some form of DAW to make music. Now, here's a hot take, and I know people may get pissy with me, but it is what it is. I'm going to say it after this break. Because every day here on the channel, YouTube have to run ads, and it pays the bills. Yes, indeed. So we're going to run the ad. If you'd like to avoid the ad, you can become a YouTube Premium member, or just deal with the ad, and we'll wait for you to come back. While we're doing that, the ad has been run. Click. I can bounce over here and show you some stuff that's coming up this week. Indeed. So tomorrow on the show, we are taking a look at Edge Nodes, mate. EG Nodes has got another update, and it's really cool. A sampler, voice recording. It just gets better and better. There you go. The title says it all. It just gets better. EG Nodes tomorrow we're going to take a look at again because it is just one of the best DAWs around at the moment, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Also, the day after that, we're taking a look at Audacity's rad as well, too. Good pick up there, Mars Capone. Then we're taking a look at Quantum Distortion by GSDSP. The day after, followed by the day after that, looking at Media Assistant, where this has had another update. Now it has a vocal remover in it that's really, really good. Hey, who knew we were going to have tools that you could remove a vocal from a finished mix? I mean, we are living in times. TikTok. We're living in times. So, we're very, very, very blessed. Now, what was I going to do when I came back from the ad? I can't remember. Oh, that's right. I was going to have some coffee. I can't remember actually what I was going to say because my brain hurts. Sand. Yeah, well, sand is another one out there. But this is the thing. See, people, there's so many things that come out that people jump on and then get excited for, like BAM and all these things. And then the hype drops and because people just want everything. They want all the things. And it's like, you don't need all the things, honestly. So, all right, my hot take was, this show's called How to App on iOS. But do you know what? You don't need any apps to really get going. This is one of the main rants I want to have. If you are like getting into music and you come across this show, I don't only just talk about apps. I talk about actually making music and have made music and show you my process. We do rants like this. I've got a mental health and well-being series. We've done shows on how to get your music out there, how to distribute your music through Bandcamp and through so many other platforms. There's so many shows on this channel that cover not only just apps, right? Because you don't need all the apps to make music. If you get a simple free DAW, right, just like GarageBand, I know it's like the simplest one, but let's just use it as an example. Everything you need is in there to make a song. Yeah, I mean, you can ask for all the bells and whistles and have, but I want this feature, but I want this feature. But if you can't make a song in GarageBand that sounds good, maybe you need to rethink things because inside of GarageBand and inside every DAW, there's delays, there's choruses, there's reverbs, there's compressors, there's EQs, there's filters. All this stuff is all in every single DAW. And I know the allure of all these fantastic apps that come out, which are amazing, and we're so blessed to have them, but you actually don't need them. Like, because a compressor is a compressor. It's a compressor. And guess what? It's still a compressor. And an EQ is it still has all the same bands of EQ. It's not like there's an extra 35 bands that have been added into this new EQ because it doesn't work like that. So you have the power to make anything incredible with the simplest thing in your hands. We just live in a time when we're very, very lucky to have the accessibility to fantastic and unique takes on compressors and reverbs and all these great apps that are out. So keep that in mind. The next time that you're about to sit on the internet and you've got your little keyboard out and you're ready to go, you're like this, you got the keyboard here and you're scrolling through Facebook and you see someone write, I really love Logic. And you go, you know what? I don't like Logic. I like Cubase. I'm going to let this person know exactly how I feel about Logic. Don't do it. Don't be a cockhead. Honestly, use what makes you happy. I don't understand the tribalism of people who get so worked up and sit there and get angry going, that person's using GarageBand on their iPhone. I'm going to let them know how I feel. Do you know who does that? Do you know what kind of people do that? Inadequate dickheads who make fuck all music or shit music. Because I swear to God, they are so bitter and so angry and so they feel the need to be tribal about this stupid little piece of software that they use to barely make any music that they get so upset and they're like, I'm going to tell this person I don't like that thing. It's like, shut your mouth. Scroll on, buddy. How about taking that time it took to write to somebody to tell you you don't like GarageBand on iOS to go write a fucking song. Write it in a song. Honestly, nobody's got time to hear your fucking crybaby shit. It's so boring. So boring. I used to have this guy on my Facebook page, right? This follower on my Facebook, and every time I would not even lick Apple's ass. Obviously, I like Apple products. Do I agree with all their practices? No, absolutely not. Are they a conglomerate? Of course. But here's the deal. Every time I would write anything about Apple on my Facebook, I'd new iOS update. That's all I wrote on my Facebook. There was always this guy every time. He'd be like, iOS sucks. Android's better. I'd see the comment and just go, what is your damage, mate? Why does it upset you so much? Like I don't know. I never go past somebody. I never read posts on Facebook and just say, somebody out with their family and they've just bought something and they're like, I've got my new favorite thing. It never, ever has crossed my mind to write, that thing's stupid. I hate it. How does the human brain get to that place? And especially around like digital audio interfaces. Like, honestly, like, what are you going to say? It doesn't have as good a reverb as my one, and my one costs money. Like, really? That GarageBand's crap. It's like a toy. It's for basic beginners and it's free. Yeah, it's free, and I've released 4 albums with it. And you've got, what have you used? You're using Cubase? Where's your music? It's always the people, seriously, when you click on their links and you go to their YouTube channel, this is how much music they have. Nothing. No music. It's always the same. I challenge you, my friends, over here in the chat. Next time somebody leaves some dumb shithead comment about, I don't like that DAW, I think this one's better, go click on their channel and go look how much music they have on their page. I'm telling you, they got nothing. Absolutely zero. They've probably got a few videos of them at a park, walking a dog, another video of their grandma blowing out some birthday candles. And that's, they're always the experts too. They're always in your chat too going, I think you should use less compression. It's like, well, hang on a minute. Where's your doctorate in audio engineering? Have you got some kind of paperwork to show me that I should take your advice? What's going on, Paul and Princess and Pete Johns? What's going on? Pete Johns is up next today with Your Music Live, where he is going to play your music live. People who actually use music. And I'll tell you what you don't see over at Pete's Your Music Live. This has turned into a Your Music Live advertiser. Oh, yeah, off you go, Princess. Hit the road. Hit the bricks, Princess. I'll tell you what you don't see over on Your Music Live. People who send Pete music and then Pete goes, g'day everybody, Pete Johns here, Cobber, what's going on? Here's the next song. Pete never says Cobber, but I like saying it because it I don't know, helps with my shitty impersonation of Pete. G'day, Pete Johns, studio live today, Cobber, and we're going to play this song. And this person said that I made this song using Cubasis only, and Cubasis is the only thing I use because everything else is shit. That doesn't happen because people are too busy just having fun making music. But I'll tell you what, I've seen some places on the internet, Audio Buzz Forum, where people get so worked up about apps and stuff and doors and this door needs more stuff, Audio Buzz Forum. And they get so upset, and I swear to God, no music. Never see them. I've never seen some of these people come into a thread and go, hey, everybody, I made some music with this thing. Check it out. It's very rare because people are too busy getting upset about what other people are using. Tell me, does it affect you guys? Is there anyone here in this chat bold enough to sit here? Hey, the deal for real, what's happening? Patrick Chandler, what's going on? Is there anyone in this chat right now who's bold enough, or if you're watching on a replay, to admit that you troll places and say to people, hey, I don't know about that song. What was it recorded in? Because I don't know. It's a good song, but if it was recorded in GarageBand, going to have to pass. Nah, not right for me. Nah, can't do it. I really liked it up until the point where I found out it was recorded on an iPhone on GarageBand and it costs you nothing to do. Nah, can't deal with it. Move on. I'm going to go listen to somebody else's music. So the tribalism with DAWs is just, it shrinks my smalls. It really does. Adam Burst, good to see you. It is illogical. I don't understand it. And, what do I use as a door now? Well, it changes. But do you have to be tribal to a particular door? Absolutely fucking not. I think it's silly if you limit yourself to one door because, not all doors are the same. Like, they have the same kind of things in them, but some of them have little different ways of doing things. And I'll tell you what, the one thing that I can guarantee, no matter what somebody tells you, because you'll get people saying, oh, I don't know, that Cubase, it's not very good. I don't know how you can use it, but this door that I use, it's absolutely perfect. And guess what? It's not fucking perfect. Nothing's perfect. There's always some kind of niggling problem. There's always an issue. There are bugs all the time, and there are niggling things that companies who release these products haven't added or haven't implemented correctly. Nothing. So it's a good idea, I think, to have multiple avenues, right, to make music. I was talking to someone last night, a friend of mine, Lady Campion, who's here. She's been using GarageBand. And she loves it, but when she wants to send out her stems of her vocal takes, it only exports them as stereo files. What kind of madness is that? And for anyone who's followed, like me or Pete, with GarageBand on iOS, some of the most infuriating things over the years is not having a mixdown, a master track. Utterly, why? Why would you? But here is the good thing. Instead of spending time crying like a crybaby about things, the best thing, especially being an iOS music producer, is you have to be inventive and you have to step outside the box and find ways around these problems. If you watch me and Pete especially, he's released so many videos on how to get around things like the inability to do tempo changes halfway through a song and things like the intrusive limiting that is placed on a track when you mix it down. You have to be on your toes and think about this stuff, being a mobile creator, definitely, and try and come up with ways to work around these things to make it work better until a fix comes along or something better comes along. I mean, right now, for the longest time for iOS people, we were all asking for logic. When's logic coming? Some people were disappointed by logic. They think it's GarageBand extreme. I've moved to Logic. I'm very happy with Logic, but at the same time, I use EG Nodes to make stuff. I use Gadget to make stuff. I open sometimes things in Cubase. I use AUM. Look at AUM, one of the most unique and amazing DAW things, whatever it is. It's a brilliant thing. It's one of the best DAWs on iOS, and it's nothing like a DAW. There is nothing like a door, nothing like a door. So, and let's not talk about Aurea, because I got burnt by. Aurea was, Aurea. How we had so good times, Aurea Pro. I mean, here's Aurea Pro. Look, I put all my eggs into this basket for a while, and I put up with the problems, and now it's graveyard software. I mean, it still works. Does it? Yeah, it still works. Good job. A crash occurred. Okay. So Ori is still doing its best. Can we get it to work? Ouch. Yeah, and I invested a lot of money into Aurea. I've bought everything in it. That was a lot of money, and stuck by it during the tough times. It was like, yeah, Aurea. No, Aurea is the closest thing we have to a DAW now. But I tell you what, I went and did once Logic came out was I went into Aurea on my other iPad and pulled all the stems from every song and then dragged them over into Logic Pro, where I now have my entire album And it was a painstaking process. It took a week to go in and do exactly this. Here it is. So this is my years of work. I've been working on this album. This was all in Aurea, and I had to painstakingly drag all these songs across and reload them into, put them into Logic. But it's been hell worth it, because now at least I know in Logic things aren't going to die. It's going to be supported forever, you know. Greg says, unfortunately, Cubase is missing a couple of important features, so sometimes I'm forced to use Cubase on my gaming laptop. Don't like using Windows for serious stuff. Yeah, I don't use Windows for making music anymore. I use a Mac sometimes, but mainly iOS. Studio One is my go-to for all its because it's user-friendly. Exactly, Adam. And do you get that, Adam? Do you get people saying to you, oh, but you should try this? And I hope, Adam, if people say that to you, you say, no, go fuck yourself, because I like this. And look, that's exactly, you know. Oh, I would never criticize people for using different DAWs. It's great. Yeah, absolutely. That is the way to go. But people get upset, man. They get upset. And I don't know why. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Just make music, shut up and die. That's my poem. I'm sticking to it. And currently, like I was saying, Logic is my thing. It works. It's got the GarageBand like aesthetic. It is a little bit like GarageBand heavy, and it's got more powerful stuff. In fact, this is the problem that I saw. Once Logic came out, here's the biggest problem with Logic for iOS. Let's just put this on the table. Everybody wanted Logic so bad, and then when it came out, most people found it too hard to work out. There's too much choice. I mean, too much choice can be the killer of making music. And this is one of the reasons why GarageBand still thrives, even though Logic's out. This is one of the reasons Apple will never remove GarageBand. I shouldn't say never, because you never know with Apple, but there's a reason why they're keeping it free, because a lot of people are using it. And they're producing some really good stuff. Why? Because they think outside the box, and they're not being restricted by the restrictions of GarageBand. They're finding ways around it, creative ways to make things, to do things that it can't actually do, or it wasn't made to do. So there's a lot of people, and look, Logic and even Cubase for some people, it's overkill. A lot of the time you don't need to do the amount of automation or to slow a track down halfway through and speed it up. Not everybody needs that. Some people just create a pop song that's just simple. And so that's why this stuff is there. It's GarageBand Pro pretty much. It's not a replacement for Logic Pro on desktop. Absolutely not. But I don't like using a computer anymore, so it makes me happy to have something that I know I can change the tempo, I can do all this stuff. Am I using all that shit since Logic came out? No, not at all. And that's the thing. That's the one thing that pisses me off with most software and DAWs as well. People always want something. And look, Elliot Garage can tell you probably better than anyone else. When you release something, you put it out, guaranteed there's always going to be at least 100 people who go, hey, this is great, but I want this, and I need this, and I need to have this, and I need to have that, and well, go fuck off and go use something else. Because what ends up happening, this is what I think about EG Nodes, for example. I'm worried about EG Nodes getting too much put into it. I like it because it's really simple. You know what I mean? But if people continuously go, can you add this, can you add this, can you add this, can you add this, then you just continue to add more shit, and then it becomes bloated. And every time because remember, every time you add something to an already released DAW or something, it's going to break something somewhere else. So there's got to be testing done, because you go, hey, I'm going to add this new thing, and something else gets broken, and then people go, but I'm glad you put that new thing in that I'm never going to use, that I demanded, but now that other thing that I used doesn't work. But people just want more. They want more and 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 more. And it's like, fuck. You're not even using the stuff that you've got. I hate when users ask me features from other apps. It's because, because your EG Nodes is not Logic. EG Nodes is not Cubasis. EG Nodes is not Gadget. It's EG Nodes, and there's a reason why it's like that. It's like why BAM is BAM. It's like AUM is AUM. And AUM follows a very good pattern of updates. Like, it just is AUM. It never really gets anything that's like stolen from anything else. It never changes or morphs into anything else. So I like that apps remain true to their core. And I'm sure there's people out there with Logic at the moment going, but Logic hasn't had any updates. And yeah, it hasn't. It hasn't. But, it's had a few. And that's it. Look, ultimately, why am I ranting about this stuff? Because I try and always end these rants on something positive. I'm not here to get to be upset. The point is that I want to inspire you. That's why I do this every day. Why I get up every morning. Why I work myself like a dog on this channel, like a dog, because I want to inspire you. I want to see you make music. I want to see you do your very best. I want to see you not get hung up or caught in the weeds of some of the dumb shit that can poison communities and Facebook and groups and stuff like that and forums. It can get really poisonous. There's so many people out there who want to drag you down to their shitty level of going like, but I don't like everything, and I want you to come down with me and be over here and be miserable and bang my fists at everything and be super angry, when we're in a time when everything's just, whoa. Like, you can remove vocals from finished tracks. I just, this week, got Ozone 11 on my Mac because I want to, improve the way I master songs for my Patrons every week. And I opened up that and was like, oh my God, you can actually boost the vocals independent of a finished track in Ozone 11. Mind blown. We have so much good stuff. All these DAWs are incredible. And no, they're not always going to move at the rate that you want. But appreciate what you have already, because even though you have these amazing tools, the best thing you have is you have vision and a dream and an idea to make music. And that's the more important thing. And these tools are just the thing for you to paint in, for your mind to go wild and explore and be dangerous and just take people to other places. Sing songs about your political views, sing stupid songs, silly songs, fun songs, heartwarming songs, whatever it is. Have songs with no singing. But these doors that we have, they actually open doors for us to express ourselves, and that's the most important thing. And every time you get upset about what somebody else is using to make their music, you're just closing the door on yourself and making yourself look like a fool, right? And trying to shut the door on somebody else's creativity. So this is why I had a rant about doors today, because doors you should keep open, just like your open mind to make music. All right. And I love seeing so many of you make music. This is why I get up here and do this. And see you later, Pete. I'm going to dump everybody over after this show to see Pete Johns. And where he's going to be playing your music. And it's a beautiful thing to see so many people make music and see your music get better and better and better and better and better. And that's why I do this, to hopefully help in the process of making the music to get it heard, all right? So we got a featured artist today. I've told you what's happening this week. Today's featured artist is my special guest at the end of this week, yeah? And she's an amazing artist. She's an Aussie, and I can't wait to have her on the show. You are going to be fucking blown away by how talented this girl is. Her name is Liz A Day. I'm going to play a track here and go out. Hopefully you can join me for the rest of this week. Great apps we're going to be taking a look at, and see you over at Pete's. Remember, stay awake, folks. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. Yeah? Let's get out of here. This is Liz A Day, and this song is Alone with My Ghost. Let's Oge.
myself. Hey, alone with my ghost. Tears disguised by the weather, blended in with the wet wind. I'm alone with my ghost. Maybe it's time for starting over. Maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to gain composure. Maybe I light the flame. Maybe it's time to be forgiven. Maybe it's time to learn. Maybe it's time to try forgetting. Maybe I burn it down. It's strange. Funny how I forgot to breathe when I fall in this deeply. Sitting with my thoughts overthinking. I lost my head, I lost my feet. Maybe it's time for start.